Welcome to Yestergays, the podcast where we break down historic pop culture moments that excited the queers of yesteryears. Things that got us riled up during dial-up, the makeouts that should have been breakouts, and the drops that were cemented in pop, and give them the gay love they deserve.
We are your hosts, Justin Sylvester and Blakely Thornton, and shit's about to get real, so hide your kids because this will be the last shit you'll hear. Class is in session. The episode is brought to you by but we are going to bleep that out because the check has yet to clear.
Oh my God, you guys. Welcome to the Yestergays. I'm so happy to be here.
You know, me too.
The straight white man back there is so excited too.
He's an ally. He gave me coffee this morning.
He really did. Should we talk about what we're going to be doing on this podcast?
Yes, we should. So on each episode, we're going to be scouring the internet and breaking down moments that occurred this week in pop culture history that had us gagged before gag was even a term because we were alone in our homes. I'm taking moments from TV, film, music, tech, and fashion that deserved our gay-ass attention.
The fact that the two of us are sitting in a room right now on an open mic, the girls are going to gag.
This is therapy.
This is the therapy I have been needing.
We've been going back and forth, and I'm like, we got to save it. We got to, because then I realized there's an endless well.
There really is.
There's an endless well of Black queer culture that we have experienced in our collective 25 years of life.
Thank you.
Because we're forever young.
Thank you. No, it's so crazy, but it's so weird because I think my fans are going to want to know about you, and your fans are going to know about me. So before we get started,
yes,
tell me a little bit about yourself.
Ooh, the hero's journey, the long and short of it
and pretend like you didn't go viral yet.
What had happened was,
yes,
I was a small little Negro child born in Dallas, Texas, to two IBM consultant parents who named me after Neiman Marcus. My name is Blakely Neiman Thornton.
Is that why you're so expensive?
My mom said you will either be a Bridgerton character, a billionaire, or a complete failure. And played competitive tennis and football growing up. Went to Penn for college, tried the finance game, and now found myself on the internet because I can't control my mouth.
And what was the first video? Because I know the video that I saw. What was your first video that people were like, holy shit, we have somebody?
So on TikTok, it was, I was admittedly stoned during Pride, and I said, Chick-fil-A competitor, Chick-fil-A gay. Only open Sundays, Chick-fil-A parking lots, served by drag queens, house music, trademark. And it got like 3 million views, or like 2 or 3 million views on TikTok.
But also a good idea.
Great, right?
Should you write that down?
They're always closed on Sundays. I think the gays should go to the Chick-fil-A parking lots and have like Trinity the Tuck and like Trixie Mattel just serving. We would make so much money.
So much goddamn money.
And the lawsuit would just be more attention.
Oh my God. But by the way, they would not do it. Because we are all God's people at this point. So if you're going to shut me down on this enterprise.
And you don't want the money anyway.
And by the way, you don't want the gay smoke.
You're leaving money on the table. For what?
We'll cut you in. We will cut you in. It's so funny and so rare when you run into somebody on the streets. And literally, I ran into this man on the streets.
Yes.
And I was like, I don't know what you're doing, but you need to be doing something with E. You should be doing something with E. And my friend was like, you big dummy, why don't you do something with him yourself? And here we are.
We're here. We're queer. Get used to it.
Yes. A little bit of background about me. I'm also a Southern gent.
Yep.
I'm from Louisiana. I've been in LA for almost 17 years. That is so hard to say out loud. I started on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, then went on to do Beverly Hills Nannies. I've been at E for almost...
Back up, Beverly Hills Nannies. I missed that one. What was that?
That was like, do not Google it. Do not Google it, okay? I was.
Well, now
don't you dare Google it. It was on ABC Family.
Okay.
Right before they turned into Freeform.
Okay.
Right before they changed their pronouns.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a great show. But then I really got to live my dream on motherfucking E. But having my old podcast, Just the Sip, really opened my eyes to podcasting because I just love sitting with people and talking about shit that we would...
There's nothing better than a kiki. There's nothing better than a kiki.
There's nothing better than a kiki. Now, before we get into it, what was that one pivotal pop moment that like cemented your gayness?
Ooh, shit.
Like the one where like you were like, damn.
Saved by the Bell, probably. It's like knowing before you knew. It's like basically like AC Slater in that like wrestling singlet. I was like, I tried wrestling in 7th grade because of that and realized it was not the experience that I thought I was going to get.
You know, I work next to this man, right?
I've been on, I've seen him.
You know, like his room is right next to mine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the nip tuck. Have you seen the nip tuck?
Oh, yes. The slow motion shower scene. Ooh. Baby. Thank you, Ryan Murphy.
Mine, too, was a little bit, you know, the knowing before you knew.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like Dylan from 90210.
That makes sense.
It's really wild. I don't know why.
What do you mean? How is that wild?
I mean, I don't know.
Having a crush on a man from 90210 is wild.
But he was a hot one.
Yeah.
He was so hot and mysterious and probably had 4 kids by the time he was 19.
I went back and watched that show because I was a little... you were too young to... You're younger than me.
I'm younger than you.
How were you watching 90210?
Because my mom had 3 motherfucking jobs I got home, put that key in the slot like, and turned Maury, Jerry, and 90210 on. Like,
I was like, pause. You were like 5?
No, I loved it. The other thing that I was like, holy shit, this is how I know I'm gay. After that Britney Spears, I'm a Slave for You moment on the VMAs, the amount of hard drive I took up downloading that goddamn video so I can learn the choreography.
Oh, I mean, baby, the gays love a soft choreo. We love an 8 count.
We love a soft choreo. We love 8 count.
Especially our generation, because I'm like, if the girlie can't hit a hard 8, you're not a pop star.
Exactly.
You're not a pop star, which is why I appreciate Dua Lipa because she's working at it. It does not come naturally to her, but she is much improved.
Are we going there?
Yeah.
Are we going there?
Love her.
Okay.
I feel like her uncle. I'm always like, you're doing great, sweetie.
You're doing great. She is going there. I also have to give a shout out to the Dua Lipas and the Sabrina Carpenters and, you know, the girls who understand that part of being a pop star right now is giving it to them soft.
Yes.
Because as much as I think Tate McRae is talented, as hot as I think she is, as talented as I think she is, she's making the choreo too hard for us.
Oh, no, we can't do that.
We can't do it.
Door, bitch. You're going forwards and backwards?
Honey.
I'm like, how much CGI is in this? Also, the opening, I don't want to have to be a professional ballerina to recreate your dances on TikTok, but I appreciate excellence.
100%.
So don't stop. Don't stop.
But I'm 38, girl. My ankle hurts watching you, okay?
Well, let's let the Gen Z gays do it.
Yes.
Do you see the challenge? I was like, in front of like, the vending machine at work, I'm like, y'all are out here.
Listen, bitch, the only time I'm doing that challenge is if I'm in a 4 season somewhere in Bora Bora.
And still not for me.
And I'm not paying for it. Let's keep this thing going. All right, you guys, let's get into the moments that happened this week in pop culture history. We have to talk about this because, I mean, we have to start it off with this woman because I think the two of us would not be here if Oprah Winfrey hadn't opened the door. Now, Oprah hosted the final episode of her syndicated daytime talk show. The show ran for 25 seasons from September 8, 1986 to May 25th, 2011, in which it broadcasted 4,561 bougie-ass episodes.
That's wild.
Yes. The show was taped in Chicago and produced by Winfrey. It remains the highest-rated daytime talk show in American history.
Her story.
Her story.
Her story.
I liked Oprah because Oprah was a fan. Like, I always felt like Oprah had the people on who she wanted to be friends with, but she also wanted to fangirl over. Like, at any moment, if Stedman was not in the picture, she would have tried to hook up with John Travolta. I had that feeling.
See, I think that's why we are the yin and yang of Black queer pop culture, because I like diva Oprah. I like Oprah that's like, you know where you are, I'm platforming you, you better act right. Like, there's no better story that I feel like Kathy Griffin told one time when Barbra Streisand painted Oprah's microphone white.
Shut up.
And she was like, that's so inconsequential, but Oprah was in such control of her domain that she like had mentioned it to somewhere afterwards. She's like, you know, she painted my mic white. Like, that's in Oprah's mind because Oprah is in control of her aesthetics, her surroundings. You know, were you silent or were you silenced?
Yes.
You know,
that shady Oprah.
I love a shady rich queen. I love that she did not go to space. She was like, girl, you go. We'll see how that goes for you.
I love that she tried to talk Gayle out of that moment like nobody's business.
I mean, she had to.
She really did.
I saw Gayle at the Met. the amount of she's back to earth jokes down. I was like, oh no, baby. Just go inside.
Gail, you should have listened to Oprah.
Just go inside.
What I used to love about Oprah's show too, and I like this about Housewives, and we'll get into that later on in the year, but I could tell when the checks started getting bigger.
100%.
Because the shoe game, like she would do this thing where she would sit on her couch and she would prop her shoe up just enough so you saw that there was not only a red bottom, 100%. But it was not scuffed.
It went from 80s ladies to very Nancy Myers.
Yes.
It went from Chico's to Laura Piana. Mm-hmm. It went from White House Black Market to Hermes.
Yeah.
It was giving that.
It was giving literally like.
It was giving that girl. It was giving Diane Keaton in West Hampton Beach writing her third novel.
I love a rich black lady. I love a rich black lady. But if we're going to talk about Oprah, what was the moment in Oprah history that you will never forget?
I mean, Tommy Cruise couch jumping.
You know what? I'm happy you brought
10
that
toes
up.
down.
All right, you guys, if you don't remember this, Tom Cruise jumped on the couch when he was talking about his love for Katie Holmes. This happened in 2005. It also highlighted the changing nature of media where online platforms and user-generated content played a larger role in shaping public perception. It made celebrities scared to do anything before checking with their PR. Now, I gotta say this. If I'm getting some good, or like some new, I'm gonna jump on a couch too.
On Oprah? No, you're gonna act like you have some home training.
I don't know.
That's a man who he should know to act like he's been there before.
But he was excited.
About what? His third wife?
About his third wife.
Girl, you shouldn't be excited the third time around. You've literally been there and done that twice.
Let that man do it.
And look what happened.
Actually,
you know what? He's still making Mission Impossible, so nothing to him.
Not one thing happened.
But can we talk about Katie's Great Escape?
She got out of there.
She is the escape artist of the 21st century. She is the 21st century cultural Harry Houdini because the quickness with which she got up out from under that man and Scientology should be studied in
when colleges. I tell you that book, I am ready for that book.
It's never happening.
It's so funny because if you look back at this moment, you had the girls shading each other on the VMAs.
Oh, yes.
You had the girls shading each other in magazines. Mm-hmm. And when this moment happened, it was like the beginning of user-generated social media. Mm-hmm. The memes started. People started sharing things. YouTube was a big thing. And it really made celebrities start to go inward. Because everything that they were going to do was going to be ostracized and picked apart. Mm-hmm. And we look at Beyonce. Beyonce did the same thing. After everybody accused her ass of wearing a fake baby bump, she went back in the house.
For years.
Years.
She didn't come outside.
She went back in the house.
Years.
So as much as I love the internet, I hate that it's ruined celebrity for me forever.
I think it's turning back around, though. I think the younger Gen Ys and the Gen Zs are just like, they've accepted it and absorbed it and are kind of getting wild and ratchet in a different version.
Yeah.
It's very TikTok. It's very reels of it all. But it's like, oh, I accept that however I act in public is going to elicit some kind of reaction. I think for a while there, it's been boring up until now where people are like very studied. It's the pap walk to the car. Everybody kind of looks the same. I miss when people dress themselves to a certain extent, where now it's kind of all corporate relationships. Even like the old Met Gala when like, Stella McCartney and Liv Tyler did the rock royalty thing. That will never happen again.
That will never happen again. I miss the days where like celebrities used to like sell each other down the drain in tabloids.
In interviews.
And say per source. No, bitch, that's your best friend over here. Okay, that's your best friend telling this magazine that you slept with that man and he had a wife.
Or like J-Lo, Mariah Carey, and Madonna's interviews about each other from 1995 to 2005. Fed my soul. They were chicken soup. For my petty little soul. Oh my, I'm just like in public, on interviews, I don't know her.
Zero.
Or when J-Lo said, she said something about Madonna like, this is when J-Lo was releasing her album. She was like, I have always been a dancer and a singer. I don't know why she's trying to do what I do. Referring to Madonna acting.
This is, by the way, you, internet. You took this away from us.
Yeah, they would never again.
They would never do it again. Oh, we need to get into the Lindsay, the Paris, the coochie flashes that happen getting out of cars. By the way, if you can't get out of a car without showing your coochie, where can you go?
Truly. And if you're going to be in a low-riding car, it's impossible. It's like you choose panty lines or pap shots, basically.
Honey, that was a good time, too.
But was it a good time?
It was a great time.
It was fun for us.
No, they loved it. They loved it.
Paris loved it because Paris knew what she was doing. Paris,
yes.
You know what I mean?
She was aware.
Lindsay just got back. Lindsay just got back to the table, all right? Like T-minus 5 minutes ago.
She went away for 20 years.
Minus her freckles.
But by the way, she came back good.
Yeah, but it took her a decade.
Listen.
She went to, would you go to Dubai for a decade to come back?
If I had that track record, I would have the guy who put Michael Jackson in that coma put me in one for 10 years and let me sleep it off. Because she just had a rough go and she couldn't get out of the rut. And going to Dubai and coming back.
The rut or the drugs?
All of it.
Okay,
all
there we
of
go.
It. The rut
was
all
rut.
Of it.
I was like, is rut the name of a drug? Because no, she could not get out of it for a bit there.
She couldn't.
Oprah couldn't fix her. Circle back. Do you remember? Do you remember when Oprah did that series on her and she made Oprah curse?
She made Oprah curse.
She made Oprah curse on camera. She should have that on her tombstone. Lindsay Lohan made Oprah curse on camera.
I got Oprah out of character.
Oprah said, I'm sick of your bullshit. Oprah said, I am sick
of your
sick of your shit.
Oprah did this to her.
Oprah said, all my life I've had to fight. And this little white girl is disrespecting me. She fumbled an Oprah-sponsored comeback and still made it. Lindsay Lohan is Teflon.
She is Teflon.
Teflon.
You know who she is to me? And I have to give her props. She's like Robert Downey Jr.
Ooh.
Without the criminal record. You know,
she's been arrested a few times.
Yeah, but not like Robert Downey Jr. arrested.
But that was the 90s.
Yeah.
You don't do that anymore.
You don't do that anymore. But we saw Robert come back slowly, but then hard. Like, he is the man, one of the highest paid actors in the world.
Oh, probably the highest.
The highest. And now we're going to see her do the same thing. Freakier Friday's going to come out. People are going to see that she's insurable. They're going to see that she can still bring an audience. And we're going to see the Lohanessence.
Okay. Did you just coin that?
Mm-hmm.
Can we trademark it? Or will
Let's
she fight
do
us
it.
for it?
Let's do it.
It's ours now, Lindsay.
Yeah.
And it's reparations.
Yeah, so you owe us.
It's a reparations trademark.
I got to talk about something that came off of the leg of Oprah, which is Dr. Phil.
Okay.
A lot of people have a lot to say about Dr. Phil. I kind of love Dr. Phil back in the cut.
Oh, back in the cut. Well, I mean, without Dr. Phil walks so Bad Baby could run.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know? I mean, Dr. Phil is actually also from Dallas, so his children actually went to the rival high school of mine. I went to St. Mark's, and he was a Green Hill dad. So, like, I remember Dr. Phil when he was just, like, the psychologist dad from Green Hill that was like occasionally going on Oprah. Like this was like late 90s, early 2000s.
Oh, so you knew like the kids, like and it was like this thing, like this guy was going on Oprah and it was a big deal.
It was like the beginning of him even like going on there. But I remember seeing him at basketball games, like because his kids were playing. Yeah, we were roughly the same age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my good friends ended up marrying Morgan Stewart McGraw, one of his sons, who is the sweetest man ever. But what I kind of loved about Dr. Phil, and this might come out very wrong, there are two white people sitting in the control booth. I am very sorry for what's about to come out of my mouth. I don't mean it in a bad way.
Know that I do, though. Whatever he's saying, I co-signed it in the most negative way possible.
When I used to watch Dr. Phil growing up, Dr. Phil, I grew up in an all-black neighborhood.
Okay.
No white people lived in my neighborhood. And whenever we would cross the tracks, is what we called it, you know, people would look at us like we had problems and like we were the problem. We were bad. We were this. We were that. I think what Dr. Phil did was kind of level the playing field for me in the sense that I knew that other families who weren't black had problems too. They just wore suits during the problems.
You're saying Dr. Phil let you know white people are ghetto.
Yes, yes. Thank you. I didn't know how to say it. Yes, Dr. Phil let me know that white people were ghetto.
And he's like, white people, you're like, oh, white people are the most ghetto. And they always say it's chaos. And like, again, Dr. Phil is actually, when we were thinking about this, like, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives or like The Valley, two of the most ghetto shows in television history.
But I love it.
Baby daddies, dysfunction, like horribly tailored clothing. Everybody
Arrested.
on all of those shows needs an iron. What are we doing? You're on television, and this is not any of your first seasons now. You're going on Watch What Happens Live, looking like you went to Shein. Don't go.
By the way, I love it. I love it.
But we need to call them ghetto because you know why? Everybody calls them chaotic. And chaotic is just a Caucasian euphemism for ghetto. You're ghetto. You're ghetto.
We're looking at you, white man in the control room.
You're ghetto.
You're ghetto.
Anyway, but we love you.
We love you.
Make me look good.
Dr. Phil was a great equalizer.
Truly.
Also, I think what Dr. Phil also did, we would not
have a white ghetto rapper.
We would not have a white ghetto rapper.
Currently in a battle with Alabama Barker.
You guys.
Do you know about this?
Yes.
What's happening with that?
It's crazy.
Is it still happening?
It's still happening.
All from their bathrooms.
It is the most interesting thing ever. But on a serious note, I also think Dr. Phil, I'm not going there with Alabama Barker because I have a lot to say about that. I think that Dr. Phil,
she's
obsessed
ghetto.
with her. I'm obsessed with her.
And she's ghetto.
I love her.
And I'm going to punch you in the face.
I'm obsessed with her.
I'm going to punch you in the face.
And I'm going to tell you why. Dr. Phil also, and on a serious note, put names to things that we had no idea. So like when we talk about depression and anxiety and bipolar and schizophrenia and mental health.
No, wait, you're taking it too far now. Those are just mental health terms.
Which I didn't know until I started watching Dr. Phil.
Okay, but so you say he gave you. I was aware.
Oh, no. I didn't grow up in crazy ass Dallas. No. We prayed everything away. We prayed everything. There was a man.
You're like Louisiana.
I'm super Louisiana.
Okay.
We prayed everything away. We had to talk to the priest when we heard a voice in the back of our heads. Like,
I was an atheist at like 12.
No, you see, you had choices.
I was going to make them regardless.
You were going to make them.
I was going to make them regardless.
We didn't have that. We never had any of it.
Okay.
So watching Dr. Phil for me was a full education on everything.
Okay.
And it also gave me like a name to put with like, I thought I just was sad at a time, but I was like, maybe I have seasonal depression.
That's actually valuable.
Yeah.
Seasonal depression in Louisiana?
Yeah, bitch, it's hot.
Okay. Oh, that's true.
It's hot in Louisiana.
It's humid. That's the problem.
Yes.
Dallas is a dry heat. When I went to Louisiana, I was like, what the is this shit? Why does it feel like I'm wading through the Red Sea right now? I hate it here. Ugh.
Shout out to Dr. Phil. Did you like Dr. Oz at all?
Who?
Dr. Oz?
Oh, I feel like he was at the tail end of Oprah. I also have just a general rule in life, and I made it when I was a young child, that I don't really listen to white male motivational speakers in any capacity. Because your message has nothing to do with me. Like, has anybody ever tried to spit on you for existing? Like, shut up. Like, you're the only thing in your own way. No, racism, misogyny, homophobia, those are all in my way, so shut the up. Like, I don't listen to you. My friends still try to send me things. They'll be like, so-and-so co-signed you on the internet. I'm like, it's a white straight man? I don't care.
But by the way,
who that man?
I'm sorry to this man in this control booth. We love this man. Sorry to this man. Oh, Dr. Oz.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Can we get into the second thing that we're going to talk about this week?
Mm-mm.
All right, sticking with TV, 2008, the film version of HBO's comedy series Sex and the City starring Sarah Jessica Parker was released.
Mm-hmm.
Now, funny enough, it was met with mixed reviews from critics, but it was a major commercial success, grossing $418.8 million worldwide against, this is the important part, the budget was only $65 million, so baby girl did it.
I mean, they did.
Did you like the first one? Did you like it at the time?
No.
Do you like it now?
No. I love the fashion of it all. I love female friendship. I heavily prefer and just like that to this series. But for me, everyone is their wound. I'm always very much aware of Southern Black tropes. And I did not love that off of the Jennifer Hudson Dreamgirls Oscar, she was playing essentially a mammy character. She's like, look at me, Mr. Carey. I never seen a Louis Vuitton bag. I'm going to Cleveland where there is love. My name is Saint. What, bitch? What? You're teaching this white woman to use the internet and she gives you a re-gift. She's famous at this point. She's re-gifting you a bag and you're like, I loves you forever, Mr. Carey. So like all the rest of it was good. I couldn't get past the Jennifer Hudson as Hattie McDaniel aspect of it.
Were you mad at the character or were you mad at the bag? Because I got to tell you something. I love the series. I love the movie, but I hated the fucking bag.
The actual Louis Vuitton.
I hate it. The Louis Vuitton bag. Okay. That Louis Vuitton Motord Firebird me up. And I'm going to say this, and this is a hot take. That movie would have got 5 stars from me had they chosen
my God.
a different bag. If she would have gave her a Speedy or a Neverfull, that movie would have won an Oscar.
Okay, wow.
That movie would have won an Oscar.
You need to sit the down with that.
I loved it. I loved it. And I'm going to tell you guys this because people don't realize this.
Oh, shit.
It's not Sex and the City's fault.
At least a Murakami, though.
Yeah.
At least a Murakami.
At least a Murakami.
Make her a Murakami mommy as she goes home.
Something.
To get that salami. She got married.
Yeah.
She caught a dick.
Boom.
Clap.
Here's the problem. Louis Vuitton went to them and said, hey, we want to do this thing with you guys. We think it would be really fun. Could we have this product placement in here? Of course, Sex and the City was like, great. How much are you going to pay us? HBO was like, great. We'll take the money. They got to probably pick the bag that they, wanted to push at the time. And why they wanted to push that bag, Marc Jacobs was at the helm, so I probably know why he wanted to push that bag. He's probably up at that point.
Leave Marc alone.
But it's so wild. Oh, I love him. I'm obsessed with him.
I got to meet him at the Met on Monday.
But he was lit in 08.
Marc's lived lives. That's what I want. I want stories. I want someone who's lived lives. I want someone who has lived life like a cat. You've been skinny, fat, tall, short, men, women, Ibiza, Saint-Tropez.
All of it.
All of it. Lived in
all of it.
Do it. Live a life and come back better. Marc, actually, that was my moment of the Met Gala when he came to me and he said, all the rest of y'all can put your mics on. I'm only talking to him. I was like, that girl. I was like thinking Beyonce, mother. These ain't stopping me. Because there was 2 women from the Washington Post who I do not like that were kind of like trying to take the moment.
And they couldn't handle it.
No, I went full Blakely. At first I was like, I'm a respected member of the esteemed press. And then those bitches took one of my questions one good time and I was like, oh, okay. Cynthia, come over here. Just blocking them out. I was like, now this is a sport. Now this is
by the way, is this one of your first big carpets?
It's the first carpet I've ever worked.
All right, you guys. So for those of you who don't know, about 4 weeks ago, the Met Gala happened.
Yes.
In New York City. Blakely was on the carpet for the cut, killed the moment.
Thank you.
It was one of his first big carpets, which honestly, that's one of the carpets I will avoid. It is scary. You have to be there for such a long time. There's no refreshments. They should have a bottle of water in that planter, and they don't.
They don't.
They don't have a bottle of water, bitch.
They said, yes, give us nothing.
No, you had to pee in a bucket.
Truly.
And if you leave, if you have an emergency and you need to take a doo-doo, you're not coming back in here.
No.
And it's crazy. But I have to tell you, when someone steals your question on a carpet, you have officially made it. You have officially made it.
Well, I'm here and I'm queer. Get used to it, people.
You really did it. You really did it. Because that's not like a very easy carpet to do. And by the way, it was also one of those themes where like you were too afraid to talk because you didn't want to say the wrong things.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of people weren't stopping at that moment, but you were getting a lot of people.
You just talk to people. I think the whole thing, as mean as I am to certain things and as much as I hate, racism and appropriation of culture, everybody's human. So I'm not going to actually try to come out here and embarrass you unless you're Kim or Jeff Bezos and say something crazy. Like, I'm be like, hello, what are you wearing? How do you feel tonight? Let's talk about something that's palatable to the theme for you.
Yeah.
You know?
It's so crazy. What was the biggest highlight for you of that weekend?
Ooh, I mean, probably getting to pay homage to Andre Leon Talley, because as a young, queer boy raised in the South, he was one of my first, you have to see yourself to be yourself, and that representation of an out, larger-than-life Black man taking up space in loving fashion was, probably a seminal part of my actual personality.
Yeah.
Watching him and Edward Enninful in the September issue and getting to kind of, respect the spirit of Andre Leon Talley. I ended up meeting Edward Enninful at a party for Montclair, and we hugged old friends, and also getting to pay homage to Lenny Kravitz. So I also think as a cultural icon is given his proper due, but as a Black dandy cultural icon, I think he represents a version of Blackness that we largely don't think of
100%.
and don't appreciate. But that man is rock and roll, because rock and roll is Black.
1,000%.
And Lenny is, in my opinion, the godfather of that shit, for people our age.
He really is. And by the way, I also love that he took that potion, that same one that white lady, Meryl Streep, went get in that movie, Death Becomes Her.
Death Becomes Her?
Yeah, he took that Madeline Ashton. He took that Madeline Ashton, that concoction, because that vampire, Lestat, I'm telling you.
That should be Lenny Smoothie, the Madeline Ashton.
The Madeline Ashton. That bitch was born in the 1800s. I've seen her ass in textbooks. She is a vampire, and I'm going to prove it, okay? I'm going to prove it. I used to love pop-up video back in the day. Do you remember that?
Shout out VH1. Are they still around?
Huh? No, VH1 is still around. Basketball Wife, shout out. VH1 is still around, and it's bomb, and I love it. But pop-up video has been gone for a while, but I remember learning a lot about Lenny Kravitz through pop-up video.
Minnie Riperton.
And yes, all of it.
All the stuff.
All the stuff, and who he dated.
Minnie Riperton is actually...
Maya Rudolph.
That's Maya Rudolph's mom. But they're both seminal figures.
Same essence. Ian Levansant.
Is he on... Oh, God. Where is she these days?
Podcast is still cracking.
I think it's ironic that she was trying to fix people's lives.
Yes, ironic. But in order to fix something, you have had to been broken at some point or still broken.
I just don't need anybody talking at me in Maya Angelou poems for longer than 10 minutes.
No. I don't need anyone to talk to me that way.
Yeah.
But I need someone to talk to other people that way, which is why Iyanla, for me, was everything.
Oh, that show, amazing.
Fixed my life.
It's have you ever watched anything on Zeus Network?
Yes.
I had not seen, I saw a full uncensored version of an episode of Jocelyn's Cabaret.
Yeah.
I needed someone to explain the premise to me. I was like, is winning getting to be in the cabaret?
So you win a job.
And then I saw the cabaret?
Stop.
And I was
Stop.
like, I was like, I have seen. I was like, ooh, okay. I have unlocked a level of the Matrix. I wanted to put it back there. I want to go back to the simulation.
The fact that I have to fight my boss, who is essentially HR, to get a job?
To strip
And take off my clothes at my workplace?
But in a basement. This isn't like 11 or the Spearmint Rhino. This is like...
No, there's asbestos in that cabaret.
I was like, this is the cabaret?
There's lead paint all over that cabaret.
I need the prequel. What was the previous life like? Because I think that's a level of struggle I've never seen or understood before for this to be where you're aiming to go.
But this is the thing with reality TV and social media. We talk about Bad Baby. Mm-hmm. We talk about all these girls that pop off. The girl who just went to Pakistan and said she wasn't talking for at least $20,000.
I'm not talking.
For $10,000 and some land. All these girls are seeing the money that you can make from being on these reality shows and getting those clicks. And what they're doing is they're turning it into something. That's why when people hate on Love and Hip Hop, I do not say a damn thing.
Love and Hip Hop is fantastic.
Love and Hip Hop is fantastic, but everyone is like, oh, it doesn't do the black woman justice. It always shows black people in a certain kind of way. I'm not going to hate on these shows because when this show does well, then we get a Love and Hip Hop Miami. Then we get a Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Then we get a Love and Hip Hop Detroit.
That's how we got Cardi B, guys.
That's how we got
at the Met Gala. There are levels to this game, okay?
That's how we got Gucci Fendi Prada. Gucci Fendi Prada. Pop them tags from Carly Red. Like, we wouldn't have that.
I'm not familiar with what you're saying right now. You're just saying words to me. Sorry to Carly Red. That's not a thing for me in my world.
That is not a
thing. The algorithm has not brought that across my desk.
You guys, we cannot go without talking about one of the most important things, and I'm so happy you brought this up.
It's true.
It is the holiday opening weekends. We know that the box office is one of the biggest moments on Memorial Day weekends. And everybody wakes up on that Monday, Tuesday morning to see what everything has grossed, who's making money, who's going to be the next big thing. So we printed out some of the biggest holiday openings. We printed out a list of the biggest historic holiday openings. And we're going to run through them. And we're going to pick out a few that we like and that we want to talk about. Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
You start, please.
I'm going to start with Top Gun Maverick.
Okay, 2022.
2022, Top Gun Maverick grossed $160 million in one weekend.
Which is circling back to why I was completely wrong about Tom Cruise's couch jumping moment, because nothing has happened to that man except continued success and psychosis.
Not one thing has happened to that man. Also, shout out to Glen Powell.
Yes, offshoot on Glen Powell. I named him my top cultural moment of 2024 because when he was in the Hollywood issue and that left nipple came out to play in that mesh Gucci polo, And
by the way, I know he took that left nipple out.
100%.
It was not out to play.
No.
He called that bitch out.
To be a movie star, you gotta want it and you gotta know the game. And honestly, that's why I respect his line of moderately priced sauces in Walmart.
Yes.
Because he knows you're not getting Tom Cruise back end.
No.
And if you're gonna be Tom Cruise, you gotta have the money, baby.
I know.
So we're gonna go and give you some spicy ketchups in Walmart.
Let's go.
To get this $1 billion buyout in 5 years.
And by the way, that man loves his job.
He loves his job.
He loves his job. It's not about the fame. When that talks about shooting a commercial, you could swear that Steven Spielberg is on the set. He loves it.
Baby, he shot that ketchup commercial like it was Homeward Bound 2.
He did it like it was free Willy.
He said, you know what I've always loved? The ingredients in my ketchups. Because I was a little farm boy in Texas. And I said, I care about people. And I care about their ribs being spiced correctly.
Boom.
Correctly.
Boom.
Pay me my money.
Give me my money.
Go to Walmart. I'm not going to go. They gave them to me for free, though, when I tried them at Coachella, and they were delicious. But will I buy them? No. But I respect your journey, Glen Powell.
Can we talk about another one? What's the next one?
Aladdin. Come on, baby.
Come on.
Come on, baby.
Come on, Will Smith.
Oh, that's the 2019 version? I thought we were talking about the 90s.
No, honey, this is the 2019
It was
version.
great.
I really thought it was awesome. I know Wayne Brady was so pissed when he heard that that man got that genie because that role was made for him.
Oh, yeah.
Wayne Brady would have made a really good genie, but Will Smith in this movie, Will Smith in any movie, I don't give a care what happened post-Chris. Okay, you know what? Let's keep it pre-Chris.
Talk
Let's keep
shit,
it pre-Chris.
get hit. Talk shit, get hit.
He is our cultural icon. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
And they produced two of the most creative and intelligent children that I've ever seen in Hollywood. Like, I love Willow Smith's music. I have met Jaden Smith. I think black children, they are silently groundbreaking in the fact that, like, black kids need the right to be weird or to, like, be creative or artsy. And to have two examples like that, which we didn't have as kids, seeing, like, little black kids skateboard and, like, reading novels and writing guitar music.
True.
That's important. That's important to see the full breadth and depth of blackness.
Yeah, 100%.
You know?
I mean, as parents, you have to look at them and say that they did it right. Because I think any child who has grown up with parents who are celebrities, look, they take a hit.
Yeah.
They take a hit. So these Nepo babies, like, it. If they get first rights to get into a movie, they deserve it because they had to stay home with a nanny named Cynthia for the last 17 years of their goddamn lives. So let them just go. Let them go first. And if they don't have the talent, they will it up and then they will leave. They don't really stick around.
Or I'd say that the nepotism exists in all industries. So if we're going to do this, we should keep the same energy for like bankers
and insurance sellers
and insurance salesmen and, and lawyers. Like nepotism exists in every industry. This is just much more front facing.
Yeah.
And I think that is also the key to the answer for all of them. So for all you Nepo babies, when they ask, just be like, it's given me the advantages that I have, and I'm going to work hard to prove I deserve to be here. The end. I have given you the sauce.
Patrick Schwarzenegger.
You know?
Perfect example. I love him. I think he's a great actor. And I love what he's doing. And he's super sweet. And he's just like his mother and a Nepo baby, but also proving himself right now in a way that a lot of people couldn't.
I think everyone is their wound. And you have to be ready for it. I think he really broke out with White Lotus. It was a very nuanced and good and really good part. And he broke out from playing like frat bro number 6 in the CW sitcom to like a Mike White thing. And he wants to be, instead of, I think having that narrative come back up is a little bit scarring. But you just got to be like, yeah. Yes, and as Ariana Grande would say, yes, and I'm going to prove I'm going to be here.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
He was actually one of the sweetest people also at the Met Gala. Like,
if you saw this man on a gurney heading into the hospital with a lung hanging out of his goddamn abdomen, he would still talk to you. He would find the breath to talk to you and ask you about something that you told him the last time you saw him. He
also waited for Amy Lou Wood. They had a very different carpet time, and I noticed he was kind of like, almost kind of like standing there like waiting for somebody, and she came like 30 minutes after so they could like
go together,
take pictures and walk in together, and I'm like, that's a really good friend. Because I would have left her ass. Be like, see you inside, bitch.
By the way,
there's liquor.
I also love, a little sidebar, I like that Anna Wintour is savage as where she's like, I know y'all planning a wedding, and I know your wife is here in New York, but she can't come.
Wait, whose wife? Which one is that?
Patrick Schwarzenegger.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody got plus ones. No one gets a plus one.
I forgot she existed.
She exists.
I forgot that you existed. Who sang that? I forgot that you existed. Taylor Swift. Oh, my God. You learned those songs by osmosis.
Wow. Let's bring it to 2003. You had some money, honey, because y'all gave Bruce Almighty $85 million opening weekend, and it grossed over $242 million. I mean, Jim Carrey was that girl.
Jim Carrey from, I think, 1995 to 2007 might have been one of the highest grossing actors in the biz. A Jim Carrey comedy. I mean, Jim Carrey, he played everything from what? A lawyer, a liar, God. I think in this film, God.
Yes.
I'm also a man that just said yes to everything.
A man stuck in a reality show he didn't know he was in the Truman Show. That was great. Jim Carrey was really...
Jim Carrey, I'll say, I think comedic actors don't get enough credit. It is harder to do comedy, I think, than drama in a convincing fashion. And I think a lot of comedic actors don't get the opportunity to do drama.
100%.
And he is, I'm not going to say comedic. Jim Carrey is one of the best actors
of all
his
time.
Generation, period. Eternal Sunshine, The Truman Show. I can't think of a third one, but I like them.
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective 4.
Boom.
He did it. He did it. You guys, sticking with doing it. And I'm going to bring this up because I love this man so much. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Why are you naming the worst one ever?
Because, you know why I'm naming it? This is why I'm naming it. Because it is the worst one ever. But everybody gave it $126 million on opening weekend, 317 altogether. And the fact that this was the worst one.
It's terrible.
It's terrible.
It's truly terrible. But at least we still thought Nazis were bad.
Exactly.
As a people.
Back then.
You know?
He also came up number 32 with Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. That one got $37 million back in 1989.
Yeah, in today's dollars, I'm sure that's more.
I'm sure that's more, but Harrison Ford, come on. Talk about a legacy in Hollywood. Talk about action hero. Talk about all-around good dude. Talk about all-around like role model to what you should do when you have this kind of, platform.
I know absolutely nothing about him.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. That is exactly what I'm talking about. That man checked in and checked out.
I love it. I love that he was hot when he was young.
Sexy.
But I didn't even discover that until like a year ago.
Yeah.
He's before our time.
He was Han Solo.
Also true.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of roles. Han Solo, Indiana Jones.
But he don't like he's living big.
The President in like Air Force One. I remember Harrison Ford was always playing like the president or like a businessman that was like forced to fight for his life. That was my era of him.
where he was like convicted of, he was charged with something that he didn't do. Yeah, he killed his wife.
Get off my plane.
Yes.
He walked so Samuel L. Jackson could run into them snakes.
Shut up. I hate you for that. I
Without Air Force One, we don't have snakes on a plane. Period.
Shut up. You guys, before we go, this is like the end. We've had so much fun today.
Have we already gone for an hour?
We've already gone for an hour, right? 45. That's all y'all getting today.
All right.
But we're going to take the last 15 minutes to just kind of talk about what we hope this podcast will give you. I'll start. And honestly, I hope this podcast gives you as much life as it's going to give me.
Us.
Yes. I started my career on a daytime talk show at E, where opinion and personality was kind of sort of, the lead. It kind of took us away, and it was amazing. And we just got to sit for an hour and really laugh and kiki. Shout out to Morgan Stewart, Carissa Gulliner, Kat Tyler. And when that show ended, I found myself not being able to really express myself. And this podcast, the Yestergays, was kind of born out of that for me.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all are kind of sort of my Dr. Phil. I'm going to come sit here.
You're there, Dr. Phil.
I'm there, Dr. Phil, now.
The student has become the teacher.
Yes.
And I think out of this, what I want, besides honorary doctorates, because why not?
We're looking at you. PHSU.
I think to create a sense of like long-form community. We're going to say things. And I think all the moments that we probably both shared separately, we've learned so quickly that we remember them intensely in those same moments. And to hopefully share them with all of you who experience them alone or together again now, where we have more access to each other. And for all these little Gen Z kids to know, like, yo, we used to saw some wild shit.
Yeah.
Like, go look it up. I want Gen Z to start going to Google.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not all on TikTok, but this podcast will be clip-wise because of our favorite white man right back there.
Him over here. We're going to call him our favorite white man. I should be calling him with the beanie.
I'll say top 10.
Yeah.
He hasn't bought me anything. Actually, he bought me a coffee. Top 5.
Bitch, I was about to say, put some respect on that white man's name.
He expensed it.
No, but seriously, it's so funny because I only know you in 30 to 90 second increments. And I think the world only knows you in those ways. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to getting to know you, in a very different way. And I know when we talk about things and we, have these moments where we have our little 5-minute phone calls, there's so much more to you than what people see on Instagram.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Thank you. I think I'm excited to represent more than a little bit of a 5-minute feeling for people. Yeah. I'm excited to slow down my words, talk clearly, which I have done to a middling level of success this episode. But also just share in community and, get those opinions out in 45-minute increments.
It's so funny when I tell people that I'm doing this podcast with you. It's like, oh my God, they have so many questions. Everybody's so excited. And I'm like, bitch, I'm on TV 5 days a week. Like, what the Like get excited about me.
But I feel like also because you get to do long form and you've been on TV. So like, we know more about you. People like don't know that I'm like tall. People are like, I thought you were short. I'm like, I guess you do just see me from my shoulders every day.
No, it's so true. People also think you're 26.
Oh, God. When I say 39, they're like, or someone's like, oh, it's kids born in the 2000s. I'm like, don't you ever say that to me again.
I will cut you, bitch.
I go, I'm not bossy. I'm your boss. That's like, I'm almost 40. All right, kids.
Listen, bitch, I survived 1991. Okay. Like, y'all don't know shit about shit unless you survived in the 90s. All right.
We saw Tupac die, Biggie die, Nirvana.
100%.
The Spice Girls break up.
We saw Diana Ross tap that titty live, okay?
On the VMAs, baby.
On the VMAs.
We saw Monica Seles get stabbed at the French Open.
Bitch, I forgot about that.
See, we've forgotten more than you children have seen. Okay?
I'm telling you. And this is before the internet. We had to watch the news for this shit. Okay?
I talked to my dad about that the other day. We were watching tennis and I was like, wait, did they know? Monica Seles got stabbed.
Bitch.
On court. Somebody ran out of the crowd and stabbed her.
Tanya Harding had someone walk into a gym with a crowbar at the Nationals and hit Nancy Kerrigan across the knee.
These hoes could never. The bitches were out here committing felonies for sports. How bad do you want it?
Sports.
How bad do you want? Also, where's the Monica Seles movie? Somebody who could play Monica Seles in a film?
By the way, yeah, where is that film?
How is that not happening?
Also, where's the Lance Armstrong film too? I know Lifetime probably cooked one up.
I'm sure he's got some weird billionaire friend in Austin that's stopping him.
Yeah. No, Lifetime. Get that Monica Seles.
No, that needs to be theatrical. If Tanya Harding gets a movie, don't you do Monica Seles like that.
Monica!
Don't you do Monica Seles like Dancing with the Stars did her.
You guys, we lived through some shit.
Some crazy shit. The Oklahoma City bombing.
I just watched a documentary on that the other day.
I forgot it until I saw it. I was like, oh, yeah.
And shout out to the gay who's running Netflix. I know there is a gay man in there who remembers all this shit because I'm getting all these like documentaries about that.
Very niche situation.
Very niche situations.
That should be the document. That should be the documentary. Very niche situations.
Brought to you by the Yestergays.
Yes. We need a producer's check on that.
I don't know. I look at these kids now and no shade to them, but y'all didn't get to do shit. Like, I remember getting home at night and there was a commercial that was like, it is 10 p.m. Do you know where your kids are?
Oh my God.
That's how wild we were. Like, there was a reminder to tell our parents to check the on
Where
us.
are your badass kids? Are they home? Go see.
Go see where they are.
But honestly, they needed it because now they have cell phones that can track their kids and find them. When we were gone, we were genuinely gone. I think that's why literally people used to stay married longer because absence makes the heart grow fonder. There was no checking in. You just worked and did shit.
Oh, 1,000%.
You saw each other like 3 hours a day. And now there's like FaceTime, check in. Like when younger men date me, try to FaceTime unsolicited midday. I'm like,
out of here.
Are you a sociopath? I have a job.
The men I date don't even know how to put that thing on.
I have business hours. As Gabby Whitney would say, and you're not my business.
You guys, it is 10 p.m. Do you know where your kids are?
Listen to this podcast.
Right? And by the way, subscribe. Make sure you follow us at the Yestergays. I think we'll have an Instagram at this point.
We should. Give us money.
Yeah, give us money.
Find a way to give us money.
Tell your friends about it.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about all the shit that you guys want to talk about too. And remember, we're going to be coming to you weekly. So if you have a topic that we should explore, that you think that we need to talk about, we're going to try to stay on date. But as you can see, there are going to be times where our producer's going to hate us.
It's gay chaos out here, okay? But just the one last thing I'd like to say is if you don't listen to us, it's homophobic.
Yes.
And like, if you want to be an ally, listen to something with gay in the title, idiot.
Yeah. Come on. And also, I'm coining gay-ass.
Ooh.
Get that trademark working there. God damn it, Bill.
We're making merch.
The gay-ass.
Pure gay-ass.
You guys, I'm Justin Sylvester.
I am Blakely Thornton.
And you have been listening to the Yestergays.